Game 2, Western Conference Finals between the Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks. Tip-off is set for 8:30 p.m. Eastern tonight in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Target Center. Minnesota is home tonight. I have a full deep dive analysis for you guys for the full game tonight. We're going to talk about predictions, analysis for Game 2. We're going to talk a little bit of a side of player props, and I'm going to give you guys a recap of last night because we went crazy last night again. I'm getting a lot of love on these videos, so thank you guys so much for supporting me. I believe my last video for the Pacers-Celtics predictions is my highest viewed video of all time, so thank you so much for that. And if you guys, let's keep the momentum up because we're winning and earning together here together. So, I mean, it's awesome to see everybody win in the community and my Discord. Smash the like button, hit me with a subscribe, turn the bell icon on, notification, so you guys get notified when I drop these videos. I appreciate all the love. It makes me want to study and get you guys as much notes and research and analysis as possible so we can win together. We can only beat Vegas together. I don't know about you guys, but the NBA playoffs is looking a little bit fishy to me at some times. What's rigged, what's not rigged, what's scripted, what's not scripted, how the refs are impacting the games. We're going to talk about all of it in this video here today. So yeah, let's kick it off first real quick with last night. And so last night I'll show you guys VIP Super Hammer smashed again. 2 nights in a row now, 2 for 2 on the last 2. And these are my big bets, guys. These are the sportsbook big plays. So, you know, if you're playing with sizable amounts of money, I know some of you guys are doing sportsbooks, some of you guys are doing player props. So I'm doing now VIP. I'm doing both VIP player prop picks and of Super Hammer for every single NBA playoff games. 2 nights ago, we had the Mavericks plus 4.5. Mavericks ended up winning. We cashed on that. And then last night, Pacers and Celtics. I already called this shit. I knew the Celtics were going to beat the shit out of the Pacers at home after taking that embarrassing win in overtime. I knew that they were going to come back and show that they were the superior team, which they did. And we cashed 2 nights in a row on our best bets. So guys, if you want to get my best bets, head over to my Winnable. The link is in the description of this video. I have 1 link or 2 links. It's super easy. You can try it out for a day, a week, a month, or get yourself an entire year so you can get NFL season and entire NBA season and all the way until the conference finals of NBA playoffs next year. Use code playoffs to receive 20% off of any of these packages. I highly recommend that you guys use the 20% and grab the year, because right before football season starts, obviously these deals will be different, and so you can lock in now and get that for like $700 or something. I'm terrible at the percentages with math, but you guys get it. A lot of you guys are riding on my VIP, so I appreciate you guys so much, and I spend so much time put into these videos and to get you guys the best VIP plays possible so you guys can profit every single day, week to week, month to month with me. That's the point of the game, and I want to talk about it real quick. Bankroll management, money management. I see a lot of you guys, and for me too, this is my first year sports betting. So, actually I started last year, but the whole thing is like to be able to make money like this as if you're trading stocks, as if this is an investment strategy for you, as we're building bankroll. I mean, of course it's fun and stuff, but I'll tell you, it's a lot more fun to win and stack money and create a second source of income for yourself rather than it is to lose money when you can't really, especially when you can't really afford to lose money. That makes it even worse. I want to be able every single night, guys, for us to profit, even if it's $5, $3, $10, $1,000. It makes no difference to me, but it creates momentum and it gets us, pumped up and fired up for the next day. I know I'm with you guys. You guys are with me. When we're winning, we have a good night's sleep. We wake up, we have a great day. We're happy all around. When we're losing, it's the complete opposite. So I look for us to win much more than we lose, as many winning days in a row as possible. Like I said, whether it's we win $5 or $5,000, it makes no difference to me. It's the momentum, it's the intensity and the consistency for me that makes me have great days. I'm sure you guys will agree with me. Before we go over the analysis for today, like I say always, let's take a look at where the public's at tonight. Where the public usually is where we want to fade. And what I told you guys first, I said this, game 1 between the Mavericks and the Wolves. I said Mavericks are taking game 1. Nobody expected it. All the public had their money on the Wolves, and Vegas came in and pulled the rug, and everybody got their money ripped from their bank accounts just because that's what happens. That's the name of this game. That's how Vegas makes so much money. And so, I think with game 2 here, we're going to see something different. We're going to see a much better Wolves team here tonight. And then game 3 is set in Dallas, which I'm going to talk about that video in not tomorrow, but the next day. And so we'll get another analysis on that video. But as you can see, here's the money for tonight. A lot of money is on the Wolves again, but a little bit more than last time is on the Mavs. A good amount, 25%. About 25% of money is on the Mavs money line, but even more money is on the Mavs spread tonight. I think the line right now is plus minus 5.5, or I think some sports books is plus 6, which is, decent. It's tempting, but my VIP has my best bet for tonight's game, my super hammer. If we're talking about money line, spreads, or totals, I'm going to give you guys my leans on all of those in this video. But I just wanted to show you guys where the public's at tonight. Sometimes the public is right. Sometimes. Not, I'd say about less than 50% of the time the public is right. But sometimes, the public are right. And I think tonight, guys, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, Minnesota got embarrassed last game at home. And we in game 1 against the Mavericks, and we look at the Celtics and the Pacers, right? What happened? Game 1, Celtics, even though they won in overtime, they should have lost that game, and they got embarrassed. And what did they do? They came back again at home, and they bounced back, and they punched the Pacers in the mouth. Now it's a similar situation here with Minnesota, and you got to think they lost game 1. They came off the road, game 7 in Denver, off the thin air and altitude, and we know historically teams do bad coming off game 7 wins, and then especially out of Denver, where the thin air and altitude, and then coming home and playing, they just didn't perform well. I called it to the T, and I think that they come back and bounce back here at home again. Like, are they going to lose 2 home games in a row? You really think that they're going to lose 2 home games in a row? I mean, it's possible, but I look for a strong bounce back here. I look for guys like Karl Anthony Towns. I look for guys like Anthony Edwards to step up here in the clutch, and we're going to talk about it now in the analysis. Wolves took, in game 1, the Wolves took 49 3-point attempts. That's unreal. 24 more 3-point attempts than Dallas Mavericks took in game 1. Let that sink in. The Wolves took 24 more 3-point attempts. Wolves made 18 and Dallas made 6, and Dallas still won the game. What does that tell you? Dallas went plus 39 points from the field, which is 2-pointers and foul shots. They just outshot the Wolves. They outshot the Wolves, and Luka and Kyrie had insane games, especially Kyrie Irving, man, like putting up 30 points after going under consistently in the series against OKC before that. He had a really good game, and that's what helped them come out and beat the Wolves. And also Luka Doncic in the second half of the game went absolutely nuts, and that as well, like with those 2 players cooking in the second half, that's what gave them the win there. Game 1 went over the total. It landed at 213 points. We had 121 total points in the first half. So a lot of people were saying Dallas is a slow offense. They like to take their time. Minnesota has the best defense, right? Gobert, the defensive player of the year, which, to be honest, like I said, Gobert is a big goofball. I don't think he's anything too special. I just think he's a big man, but I think he's lanky, and we saw what the Joker did to him. And so, like, after that, I don't really think he's the defensive player of the year anymore. Nonetheless, like I had said, my prediction for this game is the Wolves bounce back. Wolves got to make the series 1-1 at home. They can't afford to go down 0-2 and then go on the road in Dallas. They can't afford it, and I think it's a good bounce back spot for them. Like we normally see, guys, with trends, is if a team or a player, right, there's always time for regression. Same with us in our picks and our bets, right? If we're on a 4-game heater, we're going to regress at one point and we're going to lose. That's just how this game is. But then you bounce back, you go on another run. Think of it as like, a stock that just keeps going like this, up, down, up, down. Zigzags have been huge in NBA and the NBA playoffs. We've been winning our player props like that. And so, yeah, like I do expect for this game, the Timberwolves to bounce back. I do expect the Timberwolves to take game 2, and they will win game 2. I have a best bet for the play sent out already on my VIP, like I said, with 2 VIP player props. And yeah, Timberwolves are taking game 2, and then game 3, it will set up a 1-1 series score going back to Dallas, which we'll talk about in the next video. Let's talk about player props a little bit. Anthony Edwards, he had 19 points in game 1, 1 for 16 shooting. He had 19 points, and he shot 12 for 16 of his shots came from the three-point range. He scored 19 points in the last. He scored 19 points or less in 3 out of his 4 last playoff games. Like you guys know, he's been going under, and so I expect him to bounce back tonight. But I refuse to fade him. He's a superstar. You guys know I don't really fade superstars because they're just capable of doing the extreme. But I'm going to be sitting out on him tonight again. I want to see him bounce back, and his lines are really pretty priced to perfection. You got to think, guys, like these superstars, everybody's playing these superstars. Everybody's like, for player props, everybody's playing them, and they're usually always playing them to go over. Look at TJ McConnell last night. He had 9, I believe, and we needed 9.5 points. He had 9. And he didn't come in like the last fourth quarter, the entire fourth quarter. Do you think that's random? No, because everybody had him on the over. And so you got to realize, like, when that's happening, you just got to be able to adjust. And that's why I kind of like some of the bench players to play props, or I'll look for really good lines. And I'm not usually taking superstars to go over every single game like the general public. It's the same thing. And so I think Anthony Edwards will have definitely a bounce back game tonight. I'd say he's due for one. If you're going to play him over. Don't fade him tonight, especially when it's a must win for Minnesota tonight. It is a must win. And who else is going to do it besides Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns, who we're going to talk about now? Karl-Anthony Towns, his line tonight is about 19.5, 20.5 points. He had only 16 points in game 1, and he was 6 for 20 in shots. 6 for 20. And that's pretty awful. And they still were competitive in that game, which is crazy. When you guys think of it, it's like they shot so terribly. 6 for 20. I look for him to bounce back tonight. Karl-Anthony Towns. Jaden McDaniels took 15 shot attempts. He was 6 for 9 from the three-point line. I also like how McDaniels has been playing recently. And somebody like him, I could just tell by his demeanor, by the way he's on the court, by the way he's acting. That guy's having good games. Like, he's going to stay hot. And he's at 12.5 points tonight. I'd say I lean over on McDaniels tonight. Let's talk about Dallas player props a little bit. Kyrie Irving. He had a breakout game playing 40 minutes with 30 points. Him and Luka took 49 out of 87 of the team shot attempts. He's pretty priced to perfection tonight, though, guys. He's at 22.5. Some books, 23 points tonight. I wouldn't be on his over tonight. Just because, guys, I'm expecting a little bit of regression on Kyrie tonight. I don't think he's going to be able to do the same as game 1. And so for that reason, I'm staying away from Kyrie tonight. I'm not going to fade him as well, but I'm not going to rock his over for that reason. There's other players we can pick for tonight. Luka Doncic, probably pretty high tonight. He was 12 for 26 in game 1 and 3 for 10 from the three-point range. He ended with 33 points. I'm never looking to fade him, but he's priced pretty high. And so for that reason, I'm not going to be a public guy and just rock overs on Kyrie and Luka every single time. There has to be a reason when I do that, and that's when their back's against the wall, like maybe tonight Anthony Edwards, tonight Karl-Anthony Towns, right? Or in like game 7 or elimination game scenarios, which we've seen Kevin Durant for the Suns, we've seen LeBron James for the Lakers, we've seen Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs. When they're facing elimination and it's getting down to there, they're balling out, and they're getting the rock every time. They're not passing the ball, they're shooting, they're scoring because their season is on the line. So that's just what I have to say about it. Jones Jr. He had 8 points in game 1. He was 4 for 9 for shooting. His line's at 8.5 points tonight. I look for him to go over again tonight as well. I like how Jones Jr. and PJ Washington have been playing. Like I said in the first video, the Wolves haven't even seen a Mavericks team like this before. Like I said, during the regular season when they played, the Mavericks, Jones Jr. and Washington weren't even on the roster, and Kyrie and Luka only played one game together in the game against the Wolves. So the Wolves weren't ready for the Mavericks on game 1. They had never seen that lineup before, and I think they underestimated The Mavericks and the Wolves came off of that road win in Denver, and there was a perfect setup for the Wolves or the Mavericks to take that win on the road. And now I just think that the Wolves come and they even it up at 1-1. I think it's what the public wants. I think it's what the NBA wants, because if it goes down to a 2-0 in Dallas for game 3, I really do think then Dallas takes the series. And I do think that they want to make it interesting, the NBA. They want to see Anthony Edwards come in and even out the score tonight at a 1-1. I know that they want to put Anthony Edwards back on for the script, back on for the drama. The public want to see it. It's going to make everything more interesting in this finals again. But you got to think like game 1's game 2, they're kind of like laying down the foundation. Vegas and the NBA and the scripts, they're laying down the foundation. And then they're making it a little bit interesting. This team wins the game. This team wins the game. This one, this. It's trending like, but I do think Wolves take this game tonight, and game 3 goes to Dallas tied up. PJ Washington, monster games against OKC, and he got over his line in the last game with 13 points. He's priced tonight at 11.5 to 12 points. I like him to go over again. Him and Jones Jr. I would take them on 2 different slips if you're doing them as well, just because the Wolves got to decide who they want to guard, or who they're going to let shoot. It's going to be either Jones Jr. or Washington. So, you're either one's going to hit, both are going to hit. You're at least going to go 1 for 2 on them. So take with that knowledge as you will. Wolves got to decide if they want to take Washington or Jr. away from the scoring. That's how it's going to go. I also like Lively over as well. Like, he's been balling out. He's getting a ton of minutes, and Vegas and the odds makers still haven't caught on to him, to be honest. But yeah, guys, that's the analysis for today. Like I said, Wolves all day. I'm all over the Wolves today. If you guys appreciate the video, let me know who you're riding with in the comments. Let me know some of your best player props in the comments and who you're leaning towards as well for the money lines, the totals. If you guys like the video, smash me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Spence Lux. Oh.